Erudia, an ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is all about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
All right. Hopefully I got everything set here in between literally having the meeting end about 4 seconds ago. And now I was clicking on things furiously. So if you can hear me, great. If you can't hear me, damn it. I got to move a couple things around here because things got reset. And reset is not good. I'm going to make this a little smaller. It covers a little less of there. Okay. Yeah, where is my chat window now so I can see if everything has exploded or not? All right, I'm good. Okay, excellent. Now I have to go grab my cup of coffee because I made a cup of coffee with my headphones on, trying to reach over to the coffee machine, and got back and sat down and did all this stuff, and then realized I left the cup of coffee up there. So let me go grab that. I'll be right back. You love it. You know it. Here, enjoy your chair. You want chair more than anything anyway. The sticker is getting destroyed by cats, but whatever. Yes, you're one of those cats. Meow. All right. Coffee. Okay, I'm back and stuff and whatever. What if we don't want to hear me? That's fine. You don't have to hear me. I could just sit here and go wah 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 the whole time, but I won't. No, I was. We were having our town hall company meeting about all kinds of stuff, and I like to obviously be there for the whole thing. And my best friend at work, who I have known since 1985, however many years that is now, a lot of years. Is it what, 40 years? Is retiring, and so he announced that in the meeting, and I wanted to make sure that I was there to say things and have everybody chat. So I I'm going to work on some lore here if I can get my pages and stuff sorted out. It's great. How's everybody doing today? It's Thursday. I'm sorry I wasn't here Tuesday, but I worked until 2 a.m. And yeah, I couldn't do the stream. I'm so sorry. So, yeah. All right. So we've got to get AI art for Ashley, and Bree doing their stuff over in the Moonskull Discord, doing their $1,000 sundress farm chores, their trad wife stuff. But we also got to get Veronica near Neckbone Alley trying to pitch kelp to everybody. So anybody who feels like doing some AI art, that'd be great. You get me a Benny while I'm writing, they'll give me an inspiration token so I can write. Be great. As long as you don't electrocute your pets like another chair streamer. Nope. The worst thing I do to my pets is probably feed them a little extra. Which they'd be like, a little extra? You don't feed us enough, buddy. Always the complaining with cats. Made Veronica in that one game. I did, but that's just in that one game. It's in Voyagers of Nera, just sitting there. She's just separate. I gotta make another one. Those you was it 85 or 85? I don't see the difference between those two numbers. What's your linear time is confusing me, Jensen. I don't get it. Uh-huh. All right, so last time I had been working on some of the gods and goddesses and the blades that Vulcan made for their champions and other heroes during the God Killer War, which all of them were corrupted except one, because Davila is an insidious force, and, just having her around makes things a little different. So they tended to screw their bearers over, which is not good. I have not done all the write-ups for the other 4 here, and I was hoping to get some of that today. So we'll see if I get inspired here. We'll see if the coffee does its job. Hopefully it does. Do the 2-finger hit on the top of my dog's head, admittedly, when she's being too annoying, acting like she never gets fed. Oh, yeah, well. Dogs, sometimes you have to do that. Cats, sometimes you have to do the... Which then they'll think, ooh, can I attack it? Calculating math flying by their head. And if they get danger eyes, then you're in trouble. Let's see. I had worked through Xander's Blade, Arintha's Blade, and Xera's Blade. I was going to go on to Orin's Blade, and I was trying to figure out who that would have gone to, because he is the god of Mert. Sorry, I got to close a couple windows over here in my work machine because they do not need to be running. Oh my gosh. Wow, I forgot. One of my friends said, never forget. And it was a picture that we have in an old Call of Duty map that is a picture of us in one of the Call of Duty maps of us acting like complete dorks for some reason somewhere in a snowstorm. Yay. Wolfsor is growing back in much darker than it was when he shed it. Oh, man. So he's going to be like a ninja wolf. Da-da-da. So we've got Orin's Blade. And since he is the god of, well, he's the first god, but he's also the god of intelligence and smarts and all these good things. Would it make sense if, let me open this, close it. Let me open this document that I just closed. I just got to move a couple things around my desktop to get to this other document, because I made sure to have this one open here. New text, where's my other document? Oh, there it is. So I believe, oh, I didn't give him a name. Okay. I had an idea for a specific person that he would have had this blade given to. But I didn't put a name to it when I had the inspiration. Maybe I'll just leave it as question marks. Maybe we'll go with the devotee instead of. I was gonna have this guy be like the leader of a realm or something like that. But would it make sense to have had him? I could put that there. Yeah. Let me check something on a date here. We're gonna go look at a date here. This is here. That is there. Let me check something. Let me make. I want to check really quickly because I think having somebody from Lost Valara would make sense. But what I have to do is check. It was founded about 900 years before the beginning of the God Killer War. Working Mortals Defiant Death. Okay. All right, we don't have a specific date of when Valara fell, which is good. I can put that in here wherever I want. I left some of this open so I could kind of smush people around and smush stuff around. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to go back to Blade of Ariel. I mean, in a way, it's good that I have so much coordination in my head between the document and all my notes, but also it gets a little weird because sometimes I think I put the note in here, but it's actually in my note document, not the main document. So, let's go back to, oh, what is it doing here? Oh, is it doing that thing again where I can't do searches? Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, it's doing that thing where it won't find it again. Okay, well we'll just use the down thing, let it go. There we go. I don't know why it does that. It's very stupid, but all right, I got to get this realigned so I don't have this big. There we go. Right. Oh, this guy is going to be from the Kingdom of Valara, which is now the Lost Kingdom of Valara. I'm going to pull the chat back up because I accidentally minimized it here and lost it. Get that here, and let's move that down there. All right, hopefully you guys can see everything still. Let's see. Ninja Wolf begging for more food. At some point, he won't even be begging. You'll just hear a somewhere, and you'll go to check on it. There'll be like, you know, something hit the wind chimes. If you have wind chimes, and he's over there like with the whole turkey, just walking away with it. I don't know why you'd have an entire cooked turkey sitting out, but just go with it. The story is there. All right, so I think this guy would have been from Rosecrest, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we pull this back to Villa Nocturna. What page am I on here? I'm on page 186 for this thing. Okay. And I pull this back into here. All right, Villa Nocturna. I thought I had. There we go. There's the entry. I don't know why it didn't take me to that right away. Weird. All right. There's a latifundum. I'll use the white. Well, latifundum is basically a estate, a huge farm-like complex, and it could be a series of farms and orchards and whatnot all together. Roman term for like plantation for all, basically the idea. Plantation with a main villa and lots of smaller houses and villas and things that people take care of it. A massive food production center. So think of it as like a huge grouping of farms, but they're all run by like a person or a group of people for whatever, and other people own some of the smaller farms, but they're all run. And this estate was overtaken by the dead in the wake of the God Killer War. So I think the original person who owned Villa Nocturna would have had it would have been called something else, but because it's now called Villa Nocturna because it's overtaken by the dead. I think we're gonna have it set up to do or have it be a place that was named something else. He named it whatever he named it. Let's fix this. I just want to get the spacing of this correct on stream so it's not annoying me. Yeah, there we go. That works. All right. And yeah, I think we're gonna do that. We have to give him a good we'll have to give him a good name. He doesn't have to be Agrian, because this is before Agrium kind of like went everywhere, but he could have totally been of Agrian descent. He could have been we could make him some guy who's like a Thalassian, like some like a noble or something who moved to this area and was like, my wealth can buy me this wonderful place. Yeah, I think it could be that out. So we'll either give him a Thalassian or an Agrian kind of a name, I think. All right, so if we go back to page 186. Whoops, I went not far enough. I have a lot of pages. I have many pages of text here. So we're going to make this guy kind of like a founding father type of figure. He like was, self-taught. He has a lot of good qualities, but we're also going to bring some of his not as great qualities, probably his pride and his a little bit of overconfidence in his own intelligence, possibly. Perfect for someone who follows the god of wisdom and intelligence to be tripped up by his own intelligence. Maybe a wine vineyard in the backyard. Yes, definitely. These people also made wine too, because Vindonis, just down the road there. I wonder what Vindonis is known for. Possibly they used to be known for their orchards and wine, or their vineyards, before they were all burned to ashes in the God Killer War. And then they came back, eventually. Hello, everybody out there, by the way. Icky Green, Crescent, fantastic. Let's see, we got Jensen. We got me. We got Zerator. We had earlier, Rory had upgraded his membership in the Moonskull channel earlier today. I think it was earlier today, which was awesome. So, woo. Very nice. Rosecrest Vineyards. Yeah. There were definitely vineyards up there too. It's only rose wine if it comes from the Rosecrest Vineyards. If it comes from anywhere else, it's pink wine. Pink wine. Yeah, Pride should definitely, because this guy, all of these guys and ladies were given these blades to lead people and do whatever they're going to do in the God Killer War. Took them knowing that they were a gift of the gods, but not realizing that Davila had sort of infected / poisoned them all with her noxious traits of hedonism, a bit of revenge, a little bit of jealousy, making everybody kind of like fall prey to their worst natures, just say. except for one of the blades. Ika's blade. The blade of the trickster herself. Her blade was not corrupted. So that's going to be fun. All right, that's a lot of information to put in one sentence. Let's see. We're going to have to split this up. We'll say he... What would we call? What would be a good name for the villa? He would have probably given it an interesting name. I'm trying to think if we can find a name that has something to do with Orin or intellect or wisdom that isn't too corny, but kind of gets the idea across that this was his. Even though he never held a public office or did anything, he was watched and listened to, and he wrote many papers and did a lot of things. He was kind of like a sort of a statesman without being a statesman, and highly regarded, but he was also very enterprising. So he created this latifundum because he knew, he could use his abilities to create all kinds of food and generate money and basically make a place where he could settle down after his very public life, even though he didn't really do anything besides sort of just be smart and enrich himself because of it. Which isn't to say he didn't have a good effect on people and the culture. He just he was never like a John Adams or a Jefferson or anything like that. He's more like a Ben Franklin kind of character who did all kinds of wonderful things, but also was kind of a hedonist and all kinds of other stuff. But this was his place to retire to with his fig tree and his farm afterwards. It just happened to be the size of like 10 normal farms with a bunch of people working for him. Pink wine from the Northlands gives me a headache. That's why I always sip rose crest pink clear chablis. Hey, people have to have their favorite. I don't know what you call it with the wine. I guess their favorite. What are wines classified as? Brand? Not really brand. Because a brand could have many different types of wine. They have to have their favorite bottle. I don't know. Somebody who knows wine will have to explain to me how that works. Vintage? I guess it would be considered a vintage because it's done in batches, maybe? But I know that it doesn't really matter nowadays in wine. People don't generally buy it to do anything with it besides just drink the damn stuff. They're like, oh yeah, 2025, good year. I know it's only aged like a couple of months, but still. Yeah, I think you're right. Vintage. Yep. Where did I closed too many windows here. There, let's bring that window back up. This window works. I tell you, I showed somebody at work a screenshot of the top of my taskbar that I have on one of my monitors of how many tabs I have open. And he said, wait, what? Because it's a wide monitor. I think I closed a couple. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've only got 55 tabs open. It's okay. It's fine. My machine's okay. It's crying in the corner, but that's okay. Just close one tab, sir. Let me have part of my brain back. There's so many words. All right, we're gonna... You know stuff. You do. Got to get it before the war. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine what a 1,300-year-old bottle of wine would be worth at this point? Oh, wait. Because it's well after the God Killer War at this point. So, I don't... Could you drink wine that old, or would it just literally be just poison or vinegar? Crying. It's screaming. Yeah. It sounds like a Wookiee. Must be a fan of advanced interrogation techniques. It'll be fine. As long as it tells me the truth, eventually it'll be fine. What? I didn't. I admit nothing. Let's see. I guess it would be Viniam. Um. Rumors that he went mad upon the destruction. Okay, here we go. We'll go with Homebird. So right now I'm saying I'm making these very punchy little small entries that he was an all-around Renaissance man. He founded the Latifundum Vineta at the foot of what is now the Whitewood Lara. Here, he was gifted the blade by a divine agent of Orion himself. He set off to the war with his faithful secretary in tow, but his role is sketchy, as most records were lost. One account rumors that he went mad upon hearing that his home was burned while he was away. One account rumors that he went mad upon hearing it. His home was burned while he was away, and that in his madness he wrought such dark magical vengeance against his foes that Ord had all mention of him erased. What more horrible fate to have a historian, a scholar, and a Renaissance man have his entire existence erased from history. Well, not entire, but most of his deeds in the war and his eventual downfall and his basically whatever happened to him erased from existence because the god who gave him the blade was too ashamed to let anybody know. We'll go with that. Hello, Dave. Hey, Dave, could you drink 1,300-year-old wine? I know you can eat honey from a long time ago, but absolutely not drinkable. Okay. I think they found a wine in real life from ancient times, but I would have to look up exactly when, mostly because the cork degrades and contaminated the wine. Okay. Ancient wines were also wax sealed. Yeah, I mean, they put them in vessels, fired clay vessels or ceramic vessels. Most of the time it was clay, not ceramic, and were sealed with wax and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. Wine discovered in a Roman tomb from the 1st century called the Carmona wine that was still liquid form. The AI said it was tried. Oh. Use wax over the cork so the cork wouldn't breathe? I don't know. You drink it. Yes, drink it, but I would have to bless it. Bless you for trying this because I don't have to. Yeehaw! Or something like that. Maybe that's a good choice. Maybe that's a bad choice. So I'm putting the basics of these stories down, and I'll have to go in and make the full story. I'm literally trying to get a paragraph or 2-paragraph bullet point for each one right now. All right, Oriel's blade. Goddess of love and beauty. Now, I think this is going to relate to the paladin who was lost in the... Would she have been lost? Let's see. Would she have been lost in the tolls because of this? I'm trying to think. Let me check. Let me save this really quickly. All right. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. The tolls, long life, incredibly magical, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we'll go back to the other page in a second. So the tolls are long life, incredibly ancient magical pylons which block off access to an area of the soul spire. And I haven't marked on the map here because I haven't decided really where I want it to be, but also it might be a thing we leave up to letting the DM, whoever wants to do it, decide where in the soul spires it is. Because, I mean, it's a big area. There's all kinds of spots. It could be down here in this little like right here, between where these roads are broken, and it's just there, and the whole area is just covered by the tolls. But regardless, the tolls are made by the keepers, supposedly to ward off one of their vaults. The structures are understood by no one who's now alive. The beings who walk past or attempt to go between them have their inner emotions, failings, and all the crushing wrongs they've ever committed exposed. All the good they never did is revealed to them in stark clarity. Rumor has it that during the Godkiller War, just after the Soul's Forge was freed from the mind control of Grix, a paladin of Oriel strode through this barrier on a mission from her goddess. She was seeking a way to free the Soul's Forge from their bodily imprisonment. So, in addition to freeing their minds from control of Grix, she wanted to release their spirits from the souls, or their the Soul Forge bodies. And her tale ends there. Just, I think we're going to go with her as the one who was carrying Oriel's blade. We're going to do it. What is a good name for her? And don't say Veronica. We've already got a Veronica. Her name is Becky. No, I'm kidding. I don't drink unless it's the blood of Christ. So, Dave, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a drink besides that? I would try it even if you pass. That's one hell of a way to go. Veronica Annabelle. Like the doll, the creepy doll. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a name that sounds pretty because she is the goddess of love and beauty. Why? What happened here? The goddess of love and beauty. I wonder if her name's obviously Greta. No. Never had a drink knowingly. Ah, okay. We're obviously zero help to you guys, moronic. Thanks, Jensen. Well, no, you give me all kinds of ideas to not go with. Mm. Oops, there we go. Let's go with this. Let's look up some really cool words. All right. We could go something like, we could go with a Frenchy kind of name like Genevieve or Delphine, but make like a fantasy version of it. We could call her Noelle, but unfortunately she gets lost in the mires of history. That might be mean for Noelle. There's Rosalie. Now, is she the goddess of love, meaning elegance? Going to be cute girl next door, Sophia. So she's love and beauty. She's the goddess of love and beauty, and this is one of her paladins. She's sent to find a way to help the Soulforged, break free from their prisons, their body prisons, even if it meant, them passing on to Mordecai. So it's love and compassion and all that stuff, but also beauty. She's the one who brought beauty to the world, so yeah. Lola. I don't know. There's a song about Lola. I don't know about that one. Grace is not bad. Grace is not bad. Yeah. Hmm. I'm just going to say I had a friend who absolutely loved the name Zoe, and then she decided she was never going to name a child Zoe because more than one person who decided that they were no longer a man and became a woman decided that their name was Zoe. And she's like, I don't know, I don't get it, but I'm not going to name my daughter Zoe. She named her kid Madeline, but that's a little different. I guess her family had Zoe was a family name, but after that, she's like, maybe not anymore. We just name her Clementine and we're done with it. I'm kidding. We're not going to go with Clementine. Something flower related. Lillian Cassie. Lola and her cantina. Wait, no, that's from Mario. History is ideal. Oh, hey, Kick. I'm going to put the Kick chat back up here for myself, too. Wait a second. Where did my Kick window go? Oh, there's my Kick window. Oh, okay. These got separated. Let me put all these tabs together. I've only got 14 tabs going on this machine, so it's fine. It's nowhere near my work machine. All right, move these around so I can see them again. All right, history has ideas. Yeah, yeah. Oh, cabins re-recording it would be kind of interesting. Yeah. Megan, also creepy. Whatever, Delphine. Maurice. Yeah, Zoe, unfortunate trend. Yeah, I'm kind of glomming on to Lillian here. I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna do two things at once here. She's gonna have a title. She's gonna be. She's not just a paladin in service to Oriel. She's Oriel's specific. She is her paladin of grace. I've created an official position in the hierarchy or whatever at that point of Oriel's faith. He was the chosen paladin of grace of Oriel, and her name is Lillian. But where's she going to be from? We could be goofy and say that she is from Seabreak Haven and that Veronica is her descendant. I'm just saying, we've got a story here. 1,300 years of lineage later, Paladin of Grace, Veronica the Kelp Seller. Veronica could be amazing someday. She's got it in her. You're terrible with names? Come on, Icky Green. What are you talking about? Wait, I understand your point. I'm kidding. Don't come at me. Don't throw things at me. Free tomatoes, though. I'll take free tomatoes. Just no knives. Use root arrows for it. Chrysanthus thinking. Uh-oh, Chrysanthus thinking. We got a story here about a neat beard. Well, we do. And the beard doesn't have a name. Story with the Veronica. Just don't use Betty. Oh, Betty. Oh, yeah. Maybe one of the ladies in the Neckbone Alley clan is a Betty. I gotta think about that. I'm gonna keep that in my head. Oh, my cats are having a row down. Two of my cats. It's especially bad in the winter. One of my black and white cats, Ian, who I still want to get over to the camera because he's such a handsome cat. He's such a nice cat. But he hates coming downstairs. And my other cat, Rusty, who is just an orange cat with a happy attitude and a squeaky voice. But those two have never liked each other since they were kittens. They're always just like spitting, even from kittenhood. And now that they're older, one of them will be like, "Hey, how you doing?" He'll come over and nudge me. I'll pick him up. The other one will hop on the counter and come over and go, "Hi, how you doing?" And then they'll be like, and I'll immediately like, I'll start winding up their cat sirens. I'm like, they never really do anything about it. They just growl at each other and then walk away. I don't get it. They're just cats. Yeah. How about Susan? They always get a bad rap for being lazy. I do have a Beatrice in the thing. He said the line. Veronica is basically Mr. Crab and Neckbone Alley. Betty is Plankton. Oh my god. Betty can be short for Elizabeth. That's, yeah. I have a rap song with Betty as the main character. Oh my gosh. People need some, they need help. They need help, folks. I wanted to give the sword a specific name, but I already used the word grace, and it was going to be the Blade of Grace or the Grace Blade or something like that. But there are things called Grace Blade, I think, in some game. So can't use that specifically. I don't know what I think about it. Okay, interesting. What does that have to do with anything? Oh, I see what they did. Sorry, I was trying to follow on something at work, and then suddenly my screen went black, and I was like, what? It wasn't the whole screen. I just had a picture made really big. Somebody deleted the thread that they were talking about and deleted the picture, so Slack was like, I don't have anything to show you. Like, oh no, what happened to my monitor? Oh, never mind. It's fine. Right. Samantha is a harsh word for the goddess of love and beauty. How would a goddess ask one of her followers something nicely? Entreat them? Not really entreat. That sounds a little bit supplicative. Ask, kind of boring. I'm trying to get myself a large print thesaurus because, you know, my eyesight. I like using the online thing. It's really convenient and cool, but there's nothing cooler than having a big freaking book in front of you. I love books. Interesting. Maybe request appeal? No. Solicited. Maybe she. I think she might have just prompted her to do it. Yeah, we're gonna be vague about this. I'm just gonna say, rumor has it that a young woman from Seabreak Haven is one of her direct descendants. We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I can't help it. I've got to do it. I have a great aunt that was Betty, short for Elizabeth. Okay. By the machine god's will, initiate the sacred rite of reinitialization of the occupational community. Yeah, burn, smack. Let's just smash it, Zerder. Did Frost just say Betty is short for Elizabeth? That's never happened. Hello, Shadow Warden. Your grandmother went by Betty as a nickname? Yep. Never heard of that one before. Not completely seen out yet. Vague is vague as the flavors in neckbone soup. Neckbone soup. Oh, Audrey, horrible stuff. What you really want is some kelp broth. That's so kelp. I mean, seaweed. Kelp. Seaweed is actually pretty good for you. I mean, to me, it's way too irony tasting. I don't know. Regardless of that, I saw a thing today and I have not investigated it to find out if it's true. There was a claim online that Parmigiano Reggiano cheese is the most protein dense food made by humans. It has more protein in it per 100 whatever grams or whatever silly weird units they used than like even beef. Like, what? Oh, I gotta check that out. Help is never gonna happen. Well, maybe not. I like seaweed, just don't like how it always gets stuck in my teeth. Yeah, I like it in what do you call it? Like in miso soup and a few other things like that. And you know, a piece of seaweed wrapped around a piece of sushi or some rice or something. Not bad. I don't mind that. I can't really stand the seaweed snacks a whole lot. I'll have them, but then it feels like I literally licked a flagpole afterwards. I'm like, oh man, yeah. That zinky kind of metallic taste. Like, blah. Ooh. What would be the good way to put this together? I'm surprised I haven't had a small furry thing show up. They must all be sleeping. Creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation. What would you call this? All right, we're going to say that. Volcan's Blade was presented to the Lord of the Dwarves in Mount Silvermon. He held a contest to come up with the most amazing item to help with the war effort. The winner being promised the blade. Hmm. I'm naming a dwarf Smark. I don't know why. I just like his name is Smark Silverhand. Smarkh. Smark. So the blades, they held the contest to come up with the most amazing item to help the war effort, with the winner being promised a blade. And older dwarf Smark Silverhand won the contest. Now, I don't know if I like this idea as a creation. Tell me if you guys can think of something that would be like, ooh, the dwarves made this thing that was so important to the allies during the war. It was like, oh my gosh, this guy deserves it because it's the coolest, most important thing to help the armies. Is he created these great scrying stones that would allow the commanders of the armies to communicate over long distances instantaneously via magic. Now, I'm trying to figure out if that is cool. I mean, it's neat because one of the most important things for an army is communication. Another one is supply lines. And I think him creating something like this would be pretty amazing. The only other thing I thought of was some kind of interesting contraption that could create or manipulate food so it would last longer. Though the subtlety of making something that has like that kind of an effect to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, oh boy, you made food that doesn't spoil as quickly. A lot of people will be like, oh my god, this is a game changer. Some people might think, oh, but that guy made a blade, and that guy made a hammer, and that guy made a shield, and this guy made a big robot thing. Your food bucket doesn't really cut it, Smark. So I kind of like the idea of the communications as the great scrying stones, because there's something that are really cool. They could be completely misused. They could be, broken. They could be, messed up or whatever. But I think that might be cool, a cool thing to win with. Anyway. Umami flavor is so good. Fun fact, Parmesan Reggiano is not vegetarian. Well, because a lot of it was made with the rennet from a cow's stomach, so I guess that makes sense. I don't like how seaweed wraps around my legs when I swim. That does happen. Hello, 40 Viking. When I was a kid, we used to swim in this lake that was at a nearby campground. We used to swim down in the trout stream too, but it wasn't incredibly deep. It was hard to swim. You get just full of leeches. You get leeches everywhere. We'd swim in the Mississippi when we were out in the boat. But when we were at home, if we could come up with like, I think it was 50 cents or something like that, or $1. It was back in 1980. If you can come up with the money, you could go down to the campground, ride your bike down there, and if you paid the 50 cents or the $1 or whatever, even if you weren't camping there, you could swim in the thing all day. You just paid the money, you'd go in, you could swim in the lake until you left the park. So if you want to stay there all day swimming, it'd be fine. The lake had a big platform floating in the center of it that they anchored down. But the lake was also, a lake out in the middle of Iowa that was fed by artesian springs and whatnot. But there were carp in there because they put those big goldfish carp and stuff in there. And it was also just weedy. So you'd be swimming around and you're just like, what the hell's on my legs? What is that? You're like, is that a fish? Something bumped into me? It felt like something huge because the carp got really big. Or you get those weeds entangling your legs. And I remember my little brother in there once just screaming at the top of his lungs because he thought something was trying to pull him down. He's just got lots of seaweed on him. Dork. Sorry, buddy, if you're listening. I just ratted you out. I mean, at that point, he was 7, 8. I don't know what it was. Yeah, the food game changer seems more like a halfling relevant thing. I agree. I think you're right. Scrying stones for like the eyes would be more dwarven. Yeah. So, for those of you who are just showing up, or people who hadn't answered, what's everybody up to tonight? Everybody got plans? I haven't been able to make it over to the streams over with Sevi after this, so I'm not going to be doing those for a little while, or probably for a while. So I'm not going to be playing the end of Divinity Original Sin 2 because it's just work and everything crazy has been making it hard for me to even get to these streams. So I don't know. I might be writing after this on my own stuff. I may be playing more Hightail. I don't know. We'll see. But what are you all up to? Besides staying warm. Let's see. Can make it Bettina. Good point, History Eraser button. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Not wrong at all. You know what? I'm going to do something really quickly here. Oh, I can't do that, can I? Wait, can I do it over here? Nope, can't do that. Let me refresh something once. Got to refresh a window. Probably get some reading done if I don't doze off again like last night. Game changer. Makes metal production cheaper and open up trades opportunity, potential misuse. Can overheat, cause underground collapses, or release toxic fumes used carelessly. You just throw a log, throw one of those logs that burns green in the furnace, like Dr. Emmett Brown. You got to throw the logs in the right order, and see how that works out for you. Stoke the fire. Whoa! You put the green one in first, you idiot. Guilds might fight brutally over its secrets. Hopefully playing with Froste and Erudia later tonight. Well, we'll see if that happens. I hope it does. Firefly watch along with Common Nerd. All right. Maybe some others will join the fun. Bannerlord or X4? Oh, okay. Nice. What was I doing here? Oh, yes. Smart Silverhand. So he fell at the Battle of Crimson Skies when his group's location and plans were betrayed via one of his own scrying stone. So somebody lost one, gave one to their enemies. The enemies figured out how to use it, intercepted it, did something, but his wonderful contribution basically betrayed him to his own death when he was talking about what they were going to do and where they were going to be, and basically told the enemies, here's where we're going to be at what time. Hopefully we don't get attacked in this narrow little pass. Guess what happened to him? He died. Put some copper in the wood. Done. You have green flames everywhere. Never forget when in chemistry they did the fire test where it was purple, green, yellow, or whatever, and some genius asked if it was hot. couldn't help but be sarcastic. Nope, not hot. Oh dear. Is fire hot? Well, we had a girl in my chemistry class in high school who was, let's just say, she was a straight A student. She was a very pretty busty cheerleader. Straight A student. Yeah. She was a very nice girl, but not the brightest. But she asked in our chemistry class when we were talking about nuclear fission and nuclear power and all the, how the element worked. If the sun went out, if they could keep the planet warm with a nuclear reactor. And I think she thought she was like being a little deep and stuff. And our teacher's like, yeah, one reactor is not really going to do it. The amount of sun or power the sun puts out is not going to be equaled by a reactor. And she's like, but I thought it was kind of like a mini sun inside. He's like, he spent a good amount of time trying to explain it to her. And she's like, I don't know. I think it's a really good idea. High school. Teacher said, remember, he's a senior and you're a freshman, so in the same class for a reason. The kid's response was, yeah. Concussive shockwaves. Only monsters. Bury those dwarves. I like the idea of seismic defenses and weapons. Those are fun. Straight A's and double T's. I know the type. Wow. This was the girl who, the day we graduated, or a day after we graduated, I was sitting out on the front porch of my family. We lived in a trailer. It was exciting. It was right on the edge of the gravel road. It was like 7 feet away from the road. I'm standing out there reading a book because my brother's being annoying inside. And she pulls up in her car, just, blaring music, just driving down the gravel road, just smoking like a chimney. She's like, hey! I'm like, hi. I'm like, what the hell? She just sat there. She talked to me for 40 minutes. Like, oh, it's going to be so sad to leave school and this and that. I'm really missing you and all the other people's faces every day. And I'm sitting there thinking, you have never said a word to me in the last 3 years. I'm surprised you even know who I am. And she just chatted and chatted. And she's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And drove off. But was she literally just driving down the road? Was she hanging out with or going to everybody's house? Did she have a list? And she's like, nope, got that one. I don't know. I was like wondering if it was like the scene later when I saw Billy Madison. Was it Billy Madison? We talked to Steve Buscemi and he had the list and he's like, wow, what a nice guy. And he crosses his name off of the kill list. I don't know. He's like, I better make amends with everybody that I ignored through high school. People. If the sun went out, heat would be the least of our problems. Well, yeah. There would be some other issues. But I think she was only concerned with, the one thing. Just, the one task at the time. Let's see. Arendor's blade is the last one of the kind of messed up blades that leads to its owner's downfall. I'm gonna check out something here. Where did I put this? Oh, how about I type this correctly? How about I type the word correctly? There we go. All right, where is this? Shoot, I can't use that. I already attributed it to someone else. Never mind. Never mind. I was trying to... This is the fun of doing this stuff. I was trying to tie it back to something I'd written earlier, but I attributed that item in place to someone else. That's not going to work. That's not gonna work. Man, I got a scratch on the back of my neck because Calvino, when he was laying next to me, he was flopped, and he got up suddenly this morning and went up across my pillow and slipped, and his back paw went right across the back of my skull. It's like, man. I mean, it's under my hair, which is annoying. Not fun. Hello, Sai. Anything else here that people had said? Okay, there we go. I read it all. I've read it all. I've got it all in my head now. Oh, I just realized that. Wonder if comics might be around tonight before my game. Maybe I can hop on with him to play some Voyagers of Nera and see what we get. Play Veronica a bit. Search just for puns for Chrysanth. Oh no, Chrysanth, they're coming for you. Let's see. Yeah. Get loose eyelash. There we go. Eridor. He is the wilds. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's say in the years. I'll tell you guys what I'm writing in a second here. I'll say reclaim. Hours of the grips. Let's see. Eventually made a nearly permanent haven for himself and his followers. We'll say isolationist and hermetic. So, Eridor's blade was given to a druid in the lands of Fryland. He used the power of the blade to turn the very land. So, the very land against the allies of Grix in numerous battles. He eventually made a nearly impenetrable haven for himself and his followers. He became more and more isolationist and hermetic. In the years after the war ended, his defenses receded and were reclaimed by the land, but no trace of he and his followers was ever found. So somewhere here, not the land of the giants, not the jolly green giants. They're not jolly, they're not green, but they are giants. So somewhere out here, possibly in here, possibly we'll put it in the Hinderwold, we'll put it in the Hoffenwold, we'll put it somewhere in here. This druid was like just using the power of the land and the wilds to just destroy Grix's forces in battle after battle, and then after a while, it's just like, we can't keep fighting them. We better find a safe place to pull back to. Let's make it more. Nobody gets in. They became more and more isolationist and more wild, and nobody really knows what happened to them. But The place eventually was reclaimed by nature, which is the way Arendor does everything. So somebody may find out what happened to him someday, and who knows, they might find his sword. And where did I put the other? I thought I had another entry here. I guess I didn't add it. Okay. All right, we'll do the last one. So Kika's blade. All right, Kika's blade was the only blade that Davila's essence did not pollute. Sorry about the quiet, but I am just typing away because I had an idea. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this one. So Kika's blade was the only blade of the 8 that Davila's essence did not pollute. It remained pure and was secretly given to her high priestess at the time in Fryland. She wielded it only once in battle. The blade of his sister gave Grix such a grievous wound that he was forced to retreat from the field. Seeing the power of the blade in action terrified the young woman, so she vowed to never wield it again, sealing it away. No one has found it to this day. Now, if you guys remember some of the other lore I was writing about this place, is eventually, after Ogden the Black Spear and his Marka, his wife, split from her or his father, and then eventually founded Göteborg on the good side of the river, and basically pushed the orcs out of this area. There is in Göteborg, weirdly enough, the largest temple in Göteborg on the end of the or up on the holy area of the holy hill is a temple to Kika, of all gods and goddesses. It is a beautiful temple. It is as old as the city, and it has, you know, a somewhat robust following because, you know, people like to, you know, argue and are tricksters in Göteborg, but she's not one of their main gods or goddesses. But that temple has something to do with this priestess and that blade. The fact that the current king of Göteborg, his wife and daughter, are both devotees to Kika. So, and the issue, not issue, but the reason that the blade could wound Grick so grievously is because not only was this his sister's blade, because she was the only one who could trade actual barbs with him, in terms of trickery and get past his defenses because, they're twins. And nobody hurts you like the one you love. And her blade was uncorrupted, so there was nothing fighting with the power of the blade that Vulcan made. And it was also fused with the love and joy that she had and the devotion she had to Senna. So it was also transformative in that way. So that blade would be incredibly important if anyone ever gets into any kind of an epic fight with the followers of Grix. Because, like I said, it's the uncorrupted blade that Vulcan made during the war, if anyone could ever find it. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, that's horrible. Who is this Froste? Oh, typos. Aren't they fun? I love them. What did the giant say to Jack when he caught him sneaking around his castle? Have you been stalking me? Oh, that got 2 Crescent face palms. Wow. How do you talk to giants? Use big words. Are those tall words or long words? Surely not square words. Wow. My friend tried to befriend a giant. It was no small feat. When is this day? When you write something, is there to this day? Wait. When you write something, is there this day? Is it helpful that people know the time from this day? What? Which day do you mean? Not sure what you mean. This day? So these blades were made in the God Killer War. That wounding happened during the God Killer War. The blade was hidden during the God Killer War. God Killer War and everything happened now at the day that everything is currently in the world, 1,300 years after the God Killer War. So that sword has been missing for around 1,300 years. And Göteborg was formed earlier than that a bit. Well, not earlier. It's formed before the God Killer War. So let's put it that way. That's in the whole story of Agen and the Black Spear. Yeah, to this day, nobody has found these blades when people start to come into the world. And whenever I say this day or current day or anything, that is boom. Right now, when people get the book, they can start playing. The current day is about 1,300 years after the God Killer. Or AGK, I think is the acronym he's using. Yeah. So modern area is 1,300 AGK. Current state of the gods maintain the uneasy truth. Some like Mordecai, wary of rising threats. Civilizations flourish but remain fractured. Rumors of Savael's return and the resurgence of Grick's influence cause unease. Savael was basically the first vampire. Mortal champions rise because this is the advent of heroes, hinting at a new area of conflict and adventure. And yeah, the vampiric coven started to kind of rise up about around 500, so about 800 years earlier. So yeah, there's a whole timeline in the book that talks about all that fun stuff. So yeah, this is quite a while after all that stuff happened. And let's see. Agen was. I'd have to go find it here. I don't have the year in this part of it. It's in the other part. I have to come back to it. I have the note on it, but well, that's fine. It was some time ago. Wow, I wrote a lot on that section, didn't I? Wow. All right then. Well, that's good. I wonder why I can't find the. Oh, I know where I put it there. Okay, yeah. That's because I had to move one thing around. Oops. Oh, how about if I type the word right, it shows up better in searches. Yes, there we go. Typing properly. Who knew? Let's see. The Giants. Let's see. Nias Apotheosis. He was made a god somewhere between 3 to 2,000 years before the God Killer War. He's in that period. We don't have a specific year, but it happened at minimum 2,000 years before the God Killer War. Let's see. The Theocracy of Thalassia, Kingdom Agrium, Azure Kingdom. Let's see. I'm trying to find out where I put it in here. Valara, Fryland. Fryland was founded 720 years before the God Killer War. So the Kingdom of Fryland at this point will be just over 2,000 years old. And it has gone through a hell of a lot of turmoil because it was much smaller. It was this little section over here with the little way down there. And all the rest of this was just wildlands and orcs. For a very long time. Monsters everywhere. Freaking monsters. Dave, I'm guessing you were trying to be amusing. Can it be found and then no longer to the day? I know you like to be pedantic about words. It lays right next to the ancient tome. Understanding women. Not that close. You don't like the vagueness. That's why I'm saying you like it. It's not vague. It's not vague at all. It's very, very specific to this day. Right now. It's always implied. You don't like the implication. I don't know where David's tomb is, but it is with us. As they retreated, so afraid of the wild, he told his men to lay waste by burning all of nature in their path. Sanctuary for the carbon of the burning. Feed nature. That's more like the rot druids. Those guys are something else over there in the wastes. Worst dinner in a long time. Just had the worst dinner. Really? What did you have, Dave? What was so bad about it? I'm hungry. I wish I knew how to properly use the microwave. Woof. Don't. Hello, Cajun Gory. What day? Then it can never be found. What do you mean, what day? Whenever you say that phrase, it is always the day you're talking about. It's timeless and perfect. I'm going to heat up a can of tuna in the microwave. I'll let you know if something goes wrong. This is going to be fun. Got your claw in the microwave last night. Had to clean up all the blood. Some cats are not good in the kitchen. That's all I'm saying. They're just not good. Sometimes I think, people in my immediate, not immediate, but sort of immediate family are not very good at, the things in the kitchens. I know I've had my nephews and nieces and people, call me when they were younger and ask, how do I make a pizza in the oven? I was like, why are you calling me? I'm your uncle. They're like, if I ask mom again, she'll get mad. Like, what do you mean if you ask mom again? So I stepped them through that. One time I said, cut the plastic off of the thing. Take the plastic, don't throw it away, turn it over, put it on the counter. The instructions are on the back. You're going to want to see those. I said, look at the pizza. Notice that there's a cardboard circle under it. Do you guys have a pizza stone or do you have a pizza pan? I was like, okay, you have a pizza pan. Start heating up the oven. They're like, what temperature? I'm like, back to the plastic. Look at the plastic. And it says exactly. They're like, yeah, but it gives me a temperature range. Or not temperature range, but a time range. I said, yes, it does. Personal preference. So set the preheat. Come back over to it and look at it. I'm like, do you want the cheese to be melted and soft and cheese-like looking, like soft and smooshy? You want it to have a little bit of crispness, like it's getting a little bit of brown? Or do you want it like nice and brown? It's got nice edges to it. They're like, I I don't know how I like it. I said, go in the middle. Take the middle number. Like, okay. Then I told them, wait until the oven's preheated. And they're like, how do we know that? Like, just wait, it'll tell you. Once it was done, I said, okay, put the pizza on the rack. And I said, or not on the rack. I put it on the pizza pan. And I said, wait, where is the pizza pan? They're like, in the oven. Like, it never told you to put the pizza pan in the oven. They're like, well, we just figured it had to be hot. I'm like, okay, get hot pads, get the pizza pan out of the oven, take this pizza with those mitts on, slide it on there, make sure it's sitting there square. Grab the hot pads again, put it in the oven, set that timer, and then wait. And they did it all. They got done with it. And I was like, okay, you got the pizza. They're like, okay, so we have to cut this up. They're like, don't cut it yet. Let it sit for a few minutes, because otherwise you're just going to be slinging hot cheese everywhere. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Slide it off of the pizza pan onto the cardboard then, and cut that thing up, and then eat. And they were like, hey, this is a lot of work. It's not a lot of work. I had so much fun talking them through it, but I also felt so bad. Oh, and they're like, well, we're going to always do the pizza exactly right in the middle. We're going to cut the time in half because that's perfect. Like, you do whatever you do. Dorks. Anyway. I have tuna in an aluminum container. I just said it. Oh, wait, I heard a loud boom. Ever notice that there are warnings not to turn over? Wait, Dave, there are not. Are there really? I've never seen one of those. Better not be sleeping next to me under a blanket. Jar means it's ready. Uh-huh. I didn't want them to burn down the house, mainly. And I love stepping people through instructions. I don't know why. I enjoy explaining procedures to people. I don't know why. Which is why it really bugs me when people don't explain procedures right. They're like, okay, take the thing and you're gonna plug it in. Like, whoa, yeah, what thing? What are we talking about? What, you just skipped all the steps where you assembled something. Where is that? And they're like, oh, that was picture 1. We just assumed you did it. I'm like, whoa, did you now? The unassembled thing in the box that I got. Okay. Anyway. If you have a pizza stone, you put it in first. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I asked them if they had a pizza stone or a pan. They're like, pan. I'm like, okay. So I didn't mention putting anything in to do the pizza stone. It's not a lot of work, but you have to break down every single step. Yes. Well, don't remind me that I had to explain to them how to make a cup of ramen at one point. I'm like, You've seen the warning labels on some. Oh, man. If I go get a frozen pizza, I'm going to see if I can find one. I want a warning label not to turn the pizza over. That is awesome. Proper procedure is demolition of a building explained in detail. So first, you hire one of those crews that does all the building demos in Vegas. 2, you write them a check. 3, you stand back with a hard hat with a video camera and watch. And then the Lamia falls from the top of Caesar's Tower and you win. It's expensive. Can you explain the procedure for my mom to properly cook me some human food so I can eat? Well, what she needs to do is sign you up for DoorDash. I know you have Grubhub, but I think you should get DoorDash too. Also had to explain twice in 5 minutes that you can't throw vacuum sealed salmon in water. What? Lady was arguing with me that it was frozen, told her just cook it frozen. There you go. Hey, I saw somebody telling me the other day that people are taking whole packs of hot dogs in the plastic wrapper and throwing them on the grill and cooking them that way because it bubbles up and it cooks them in the package and then they just cut the plastic package away. I'm like, what? Do people actually do that? Or is that just one of those things online that somebody made up as a sensation that's not really true? I don't know. Me not know. Mungo just pawn and game of life. All right, so we got the blades. Got a dag. That's a crazy wizard I worked on. Black spear, the coin, the ring of Maka, the 7 blades of Vulcan, but 8. I gotta come up with a name for that guy. Okay, so we got these. I'm going to remove that. I don't need that note anymore. Factions and peoples will be fine. No one has found it. No one has found Dave to this day. Dave is going to try and get me killed tonight in the game. Dang it, Frost. I'm sorry. How is just had hot water confusing? Well, how much water? How hot is the water supposed to be? Where do we get the water? And I don't remember what the last one was. Oh, I think it was, they were trying to figure out if they could use a plastic spoon or if it would melt. Like, ooh, nice. Don't forget Uber Eats. I've never used Uber Eats. That can't be right. Sounds like rage bait. Yeah, I don't know. I think it has to be, but I don't know. Somebody sent me a picture of someone doing it. I'm like, is that an AI video? Cool. If it's not an AI video, I'm thinking to myself, how much toxic whatever from that package on the inside got into those hot dogs? You get the water from you mean like water from a toilet? Sorry, a little idiocracy there for you. Give myself a note. All right, let's see. What is this saying? What? Will grilling hot dogs in the package affect their taste or texture? Okay. Packaging material must coat either plastic or aluminum foil. They can melt or catch fire, potentially ruining the hot dogs inside. Okay. I guess evidently this is the thing? No. Oh yeah. Wait a second. TikTok's trend. Oh, it's TikTok, the source of all idiocy in the world. I want to know how many people have died because of TikTok. Just give me a number. It will probably not be high enough. I mean, that's a horrible thing to say. I mean, it's probably too high. TikTok trend sparks backlash after users grill hot dogs without removing the plastic wrapper. It says hot dog pack cooks hot dogs on the grill. Plastic is just another cooking tool. This person says, described it as a full pack of ballpark franks roasting over an open flame while still inside their polyethylene sheaths. It steams them in their own juices, making it a homemade steam bag. And they come out extra juicy. Like a sous vide for psychopaths. The packages are melting and burning on the side. Melted plastic is not a seasoning. Now, some people are putting tinfoil or aluminum foil all over the whole grill and then laying the packages on that. And the package stretches across the hot dogs and they just slice it open and take them out. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you go find that article yourself. I'm not going to link to it. But anyway. Yay! Something to be outraged about. To this day, we should never... I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do it. You get the water from the pool, you fill it up all the way, put it in the microwave for 8 minutes. Just downloaded DoorDash and ordered me a large tuna pizza from Domino's. I hope Mom don't mind I use your credit card to pay for it. Bronco's got electrolytes. There you go. Bronco! No way Domino's is the best pizza where you live, Chris. Rondo. Cooking hot dogs in the packaging sounds like it's a Tide Pods challenge, basically. Nowhere near the best, but it's cheaper than the other options he could have used. Like Little Caesars is even cheaper, woof. Cinnamon challenge killed a few. Did it really? Domino's really ain't that bad for fast food pizzas, more just where you live. Figures it's always TikTok. Yep. You're right, Jensen. I called to order and got a large stuffed crust from Pizza Hut. Oh no. Want to know how many died from the Tide Pod challenge? Probably a lot. Or you can wrap it in baking paper than foil. I was never really a fan personally. You will share that with me. Oh no, now she's like, Ma, you give me some of that pizza. Sorry, this is bad. Anyway, so that all aside, we've gotten the real basics and some tiebacks to other characters in the world and other things and other locations for all of the 7 swords plus the 8. Which is good. This is good. We got somewhere. We got somewhere, right? And I'm thinking that this inspired me in one other thing here. What? Oh, I'm over in that one. I have the wrong thing here. We'll go with this. Not too many entries. Okay. Favorite foods. What I want to do is I'm going to go. My gosh, that page is blinding me. Boop. History erasure button. You still over there? Been real quiet since you said Bettina. All right, so this is that. I want to make a note down here. I'm writing something specifically about a note on some food and drinks because we talk about food a lot and we talk about specific foods for specific locations, like God Killer Honey, and some of the stuff that's grown in some areas. We've got a few different creations here and there. We got some special drinks. We got some special meals. I'm thinking that we should explore the idea of the wines because Agrium is going to be known for wines. Some of the areas near the caustic strands up in the hills are starting to become known for their wines. The elves are probably known for their wines, but it's really hard to get them. The dwarves known for their meads and other food. The people of Fryland don't really indulge in wine for the most part. They have some fortified wines, this and that, but mostly it's meads and beers. The people from the Azure Kingdom, we have to decide if we're going to go with kind of the Egyptian type stuff or Middle Eastern type stuff or both or a mix of them, kind of like figure out what their big drinks that they'd have over there, if it's like fermented milk or they have something else they make with the help of those what I can't even remember what I called them now, the bug people, those bug people. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just putting this note here for myself. Regional classics that are well known. There we go. By the way, if you guys want to see a really goofy picture of some of my coworkers and I on a wall, if you go look up the map, oh gosh, which is in Modern Warfare 3? Might have been Modern Warfare 3, the first Modern Warfare 3, not the second one. The original Modern Warfare 3, I don't know if it's one of the add-on packs. There's a multiplayer map called MP_Blackbox, which has some mansions and it has a crashed airplane in the in amongst some of the mansions. In one of the houses, it has all these glass walls. There's a black and white picture of it's like takes up a whole panel of this wall. It's like a 6 foot tall, like 7 8 foot wide picture in the house. That is one of the pictures on the wall. And that picture is me and 3 of my coworkers. And it was a goofy picture of us that they put on the wall. So if you want to go find that, you can. If you find it, let me know. I shared a rotisserie chicken with you earlier. Did you really, Prasanth? Did you? Did you rotisserie chicken? Very nice. Domino's is better than Jets. Well, just don't order Jets, even though they have seafood on the menu. They don't ask me why. 8 people confirmed. Wow, that's a lot. I mean, that's more than should have happened. Let's put it that way. Speaking of pizza, have any of you seen the short reel of streamers chat guessing what pizza he's eating based on the bottom of the cooked dough and guessing it right? No, that's ridiculous. How do they know? Oh, you don't mean what's on the pizza. You mean the brand or the type of pizza. Okay, that's more logical. Yeah, I can see that because that's very specific to the style and the franchises and stuff. Okay, got it. And Dave would say if it's Jets, it's probably burnt and greasy, right? Hey, you know what I had for lunch? Dave will know what this is. If he saw it. If he didn't see it. If he's driving or something, then he didn't see it. And I'll tell him what it is. But, all right. Let's see. We're gonna put parentheses around that. Oh yeah, sound 10 times better than my supper. So, Dave, what was your supper? I don't know if you said. I know you said it was horrible. Horrible. Was that candy? No, that's not candy. I got a couple of slices of this. It is a slice of Rocky Rococo pizza. And I just got one out of the refrigerator before I started because I was going to have it as a snack. It is a little slice of pepperoni sausage pizza. Probably hard to see what it looks like, really, but it's very dark and whatever. But it's this really tasty, thick crust kind of pizza, like I don't know, huge pieces of sausage and mushrooms and everything else on them. That's going to be my snack right after this. I do have candy around here somewhere, though, but that's not candy. It's good pizza. It's not great. No, it's probably not very good for you, but it has a very tasty crust and all that. In fact, I'm gonna have a dark chocolate mint because I still have some of these left over from Christmas. Oh my gosh! You open the box, it's just like dark chocolate mint. Just hits you in the face like punch. Starting to get a headache, so dark chocolate, perfect. Take pizza out of the box. I'm reading your message, Dave. 160 degrees. Do it. Do it. Bam. I just looked it up. What is that goober picture of you? What is that goober picture of you, all Frost? Oh, did you find it? It was us outside of our office in a snowstorm. They're like, hey, we need some pictures for stuff. Just go outside the office and take a goofy picture. We're like, okay. Oh, sent me the short on Discord. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Crossbows rapid with the hand cross or rapid fire savage shock. The little hand crossbow. Just or is there another crossbow farther down the line? That is in fact the picture. And I don't even remember which oh, I'm wearing a Raven shirt, yep. And the guy, the heavier set guy on the opposite end from me, he's the one who retired today. On a rare one, shoot 6 in a row. Nice. But yeah, we're dorks. They don't let us do things like that as much anymore because legal was like, well, you can't put people in there, even if they sign off, because they're not part of, different unions for SAG and this and that. And using someone's image could have potential legal implications down the road because it's part of a paid product. And even if they sign a waiver and we're finally just there at that point, they're just like, okay, no pictures that resemble or use or are based off of current people or family members or anything going in the game. Because we don't want Easter eggs coming in. Everything has to be hand painted by someone and created separately, and they cannot be real people. So just don't do it. So we don't do that anymore. And I'll have you know, somewhere in a Call of Duty level somewhere is a building with my actual last name as the business because I was the person who did the map. Somewhere. But we can't do that anymore either. Because we could get in trouble. Oh. So, Dave, the first part of that, not bad. I like the idea. The drink? Blah. Boring. Hate it. I happen to love that first item that you mentioned. I will eat that with berries in it and just honey sprinkled over the top of it. I just love it. But I'm weirdo. I love that stuff. Anyway, I suppose it's almost time for us to go here. Today went really weirdly fast. Boo, legal ruining the fun. Woohoo! Ah, there you go. Yep. Would be more thankful. Mom said no. She's so mean sometimes. Only she's allowed to take pictures of me. It'd be creepy if other people were taking pictures of you, dude. I'm just saying. Dave, I'm sorry. It was all horrible. That sucks. Dave, I'm telling you, just bone broth. Nothing but bone broth for days. You'll be fine. Oh, well, I have a friend who doesn't like that first substance at all. A couple friends, in fact. Well, honestly, Wolf is getting really big really fast. Yeah, well, I sent her an AI picture at one point of Wolf and him kneeling down so she could climb onto his back and walk down the street. It was a creepy AI video, but it worked. It's fun. There you go. Right. So put that there, and this is my there. All right, Larf, and I will move this one down here. Okay. So I am going to be getting the heck out of here in a moment. I have some good notes on the things that we're going to work on in those areas for like drinks and such that would be useful, because that's something that people will bring up. It's something that's kind of fun to bring up in a campaign. You can say, oh, do you have this from Fryland? We're like, oh yeah, we have a sour ale from Fryland. We've got 2 barrels of it, but it's all we've got. So it's really expensive. Or Solinar wine. What are you, a king? Get out of here. Smack. One day AI will take your job. AI will take everybody's jobs. We could all use a diet. Everybody diet. I'm still, I just say, you know, a little bit of this with everything you eat, it's going to clear you right out. Don't make me take a sip, because I will. At dinner time anyway, my pizza just got here. Uh-huh. Wow. Can I go to that? Okay, I can. Sweet. Wow. I don't know what I'm going to be working on Tuesday. Depends on if I work on some of this stuff over the weekend. I might get it roughed out. I might be going back to the magical towers and their specialties and placing them in actual locations in the world, so we have them all over. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I'll think about doing that. Yeah, still think there should be. I want to work on the school here at Pulum, because there's Ulpia, there's Pulum, and Ustra, or at Ustra, I mean, because there is an academy basically dedicated to teaching wizards, because they didn't want them being taught within the cities or near any other places where people live. So that's why they're out here on this headland where all these roads come together. Woohoo! Sip it. If I had that, I would drink a gallon of milk in an hour. I do sip this. I use this as a sports bottle numerous times on stream, guys. Come on. It's really easy. You take it, you open it up. See, you got to unscrew the top. You go boop. And then you have your mouth on fire. It's like eating a pepper and licking a nettle bush at the same time. It just gets everywhere. Oops. And now I got it all over my beard. Because I'm really good. Let's get that out of my beard. Because knowing me, what I'll do later is I'll do this and then touch my eye. Ooh, I almost touched my eye there. Oh, you almost got me. But you didn't. So there. Why though? It just tastes good. And it's really good for you. It burns all those bad things. It gets all the bad humors out of your body. All right. I'm 7 seconds over. I got to get out of here before I get turned into wizard glue. Thank you all for coming by. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Do whatever you're going to do. Get me some of those inspirational bennies for this stream. Yeah. The more comments I get, the less likely you guys are going to turn me into wizard glue. So please. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go find my tab here. And we'll go back to the ending screen. Let's choose that. Let's choose that one. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.